Hello, Limited to Legendary. Super excited to connect with you guys today. As you know, I'm your coach, Rachel Adams-Lee, and I am here with my good friend, Jesse Garcia with Zippy. Hi, Jesse.
Hello.
Welcome to the party.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
So you don't know it yet, but this group of real estate agents are going to become your favorite people that you get to work with. So you're welcome.
I love it. Thank you. I thank you. You talk very highly of all of them, so it's awesome.
So you guys, the reason I wanted to do a quick video today with Jesse is because a lot of you in coaching with me have professed an interest in needing help tracking your numbers, watching your money, learning kind of what's in your pipeline. And you know, Jesse and I actually go way back. I've known Jesse, he actually was with Keller Williams. So I knew Jesse for quite a few years. I was a brand new baby, like unlicensed when I met him. So he's known me through the whole crazy journey. And he's ran a team, you guys. And then he really found his passion more in kind of like the tracking numbers and watching money. He really likes money. So he's good at making sure that he isn't losing any. And what happens is, and I don't know if this ever happened to any of you guys, but we have a commission check coming through, and God forbid it happens, but sometimes you notice and there's like a $400 difference that you should have, and something happened, and sometimes it's the market center's fault, and sometimes it's something else. Maybe it wasn't entered correctly. And Jesse has been massively important in my business because our whole team has adopted his model with Zippy to track all of our transactions, to know what's in our pipeline, to make sure that we're not leaving any money on the table. So what I wanted Jesse to do today is just kind of give you guys a brief overview of his company, what he does, and how he is going to, how he can be beneficial in helping you with your business. So Jesse, I'm going to do a screen share with you and then let you take over.
How do I follow that?
Just be really impressive.
All right. I can do that. I can try.
Okay, so let me give you, let's see. I don't want to share my screen. I want to share your screen. Do you have an option to share your screen?
Let's see.
Nope. Shoot. I'm going to have to redo this, I think. Just kidding. Sorry, technical difficulties. That was my bad.
So I have the capability to share my screen now.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and share your screen and then you can take over.
All right. Let me, hopefully you can see my screen.
Yep, sure can.
So can you see the Zippy Dashboard, Rachel?
I can see it.
Perfect. Okay. So thank you for an awesome introduction. It's just been an absolute privilege and honor to watch you grow into this massive just entrepreneur and businesswoman that you are, and as a successful leader. So congrats to you and all your success. You're a phenomenal human being. And so really quick from a Zippy standpoint, high level overview is you're looking at the dashboard, which is, we'll come back to it. Like you said, it's important to track your numbers, and it's important to track and know down to the penny how much every commission check you have is going to be, so you can deposit that in the bank and also budget for necessary items in your business. So from a high level overview, any agent, whether you're an agent, you're a team, you're a small brokerage, doesn't matter. You're going to have a commission profile, and everybody's going to be different. There's different companies, different models, and you can have a split, you can have a cap, you can have a flat fee, doesn't matter. And your split, basically, you're going to put in your split with your office. You're going to put in a cap if you're on a capping model. If you're not, you just hit no. If you are a part of a capping model, you go and you put in your cap, whatever your cap is, and then you put in your anniversary date or your start date. And you just want to ask your company or your broker, whatever that looks like, to make sure it's accurate, right? Garbage in, garbage out. We want to make sure everything is accurate in here. Next thing is your royalty. Most larger franchises or independently owned companies may have a royalty percentage that comes to and stays with the company. And so you hit yes to that, you put in that percentage. You can also use a royalty based upon certain different models that take the royalty percentage based on sale price. So you want to check yes to that, or no, depending upon your model again. And if you have a cap on that, and then an anniversary date or a cap on that. And then what we want to do is be an independent contractor unless you're really incorporated and budget for taxes and business expenses, you're going to be on your own to do this, right? We're not W-2. You're not getting your taxes taken out for you. You have to be very mindful of that. And that's a mistake I made my first year in business when my CPA said, well, did you save money for your taxes? I said, well, why would I have to do that? It's taken out of my commission check. Nope. Big mistake. So you want to make sure that you're budgeting for that. So you can put in 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever that looks like. Talk to a CPA. I am not one. And then you want to budget. Go ahead.
What you're saying is on here, you can put in, if you have a cap, you can put in if you have a showing assistant, you can kind of really make each transaction specific to what's going on. And then on top of that, you can budget if you have taxes, because I mean, I think a lot of us go in that position where we're not so smart. I mean, I know my first 4 years in real estate, I owed money and I had to be on a payment plan. And this last year, 2017 was the first year that I actually got money back. And
that feels great, huh?
Oh my God. I was like, this is a joke. Are you kidding me? But I finally had like an awesome CPA, which I can give all of you guys this information that's watching, but I had a really good CPA and I had a really good bookkeeper, and they both know the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. They know the Keller Williams model, but they're also flexible in case you're with a different brokerage watching this, they're flexible. And so they know, what is your, how much is your rent, your office desk fee, or how much do you pay a transaction coordinator? And what I love about that is for taxes, you need to have that dialed in. But with Zippy, I get to put that in here. Like I always was unclear about what a cost to sale was, but with Zippy, I actually can break it down and understand what the cost to sale is per transaction so that I'm running my business instead of my business running me.
No, 100%. You're absolutely right. And that's the great thing is that, most agents, and I did the same thing, you probably did the same thing, is when you're new, maybe not so new, you go and you get your commission check, you go right to the bank, you cash it, you spend it. Yeah. Right? It goes into a personal account, right? So you're not familiar with that at all. I know I am. But you go to the bank, you cash it, and then you spend the money. And then you go back and go, well, I have to reinvest in my business. I have to reinvest in personal growth. I have to invest back into taxes because I have to pay those things. And so what this does, and I'll show you the reporting features, is that this just keeps you mindful of, as much as you would like to believe all that money is yours, it's not. Right? And you want to be able to break that down into a way that you can easily understand it. So once you go through that process, you can save your commission profile. And that kind of sets the foundation of all finances in your Zippy account. Next thing, we'll jump right over to deals. So here is kind of where everything starts to look really pretty. Right. And it's pretty. It's pretty. It's a motivating factor because you get to see what's in your pipeline. You get to see what you have to look forward to. You get to see what's pending, what are active deals, what are leads, what are my closed transactions, and be able to see the reality also with taxes, business expenses, splits, team members, any other fees that are coming out of a transaction. You get to see, here's the true amount of money I'm going to make. And that's a very motivating thing for agents because we love instant gratification. Mm-hmm. We want to be able to see fruits of our labor now. And we can't really do that in real estate because it takes 30 to 45 days to close a transaction, not to mention 3 to maybe 6 months of hard lead generation just to fill up a pipeline. This gives you motivation to have that and go, wow, honey, whether it's your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, or even just yourself, to go, this is what I've been working hard doing. Yeah. This is what this is going to look like for us in the next month, in the next quarter. This is what our life's going to look like in the next year. And it's that motivating factor.
We say too, in real estate, what you just do today, you see a paycheck 90 days from now. And the good news about partnering with you and Zippy is, one, you have made this extremely affordable for real estate professionals, which I thank you for, because not all of the companies like this are out there. But I think also you've been an agent, so you get it. Like, how this works, and I think it was what I like about this is you knew where the holes were, and you're like, I'm going to plug the hole. And in an ideal world, if I could actually track my income, yes, I know I get a paycheck 90 days from now, but what is that paycheck going to be? Because we have these rose-colored glasses on and we think, oh my gosh, I'm selling a house for $350. My commission's $8,000. It's not $8,000. It's less than $8,000. In fact, if you're looking at the Red Book model, it's 30% less than $8,000. And I don't know math, but figure that out.
Well, and you bring up a very good point too. Not only are we looking at, great, we're going to make $8,000. A lot of people in our industry make the mistake of setting their goals off GCI.
Yes.
And not net. And they wonder why they're still broke after they made $100,000 GCI.
Well, and you and I both know we see those fancy people on stage and they're walking across and they've closed, 1,000 houses. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. What's your profit and loss like? And they're like, I made 11% of that. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, right? I mean, and I love, one of what Gary Keller said, he said, I don't care how much money you make. How much money do you keep?
Yep. And
right?
that's
that's what's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you break it down and you can see this, and there's a lot of different filters and technical stuff you can get into to really customize this, but we won't get into that. But when you go into a deal, you can put in a picture, you can put in a URL so you can track the transaction, or go to a marketing site. You can put in the address, the basic summary of a transaction. Is it pending? And one thing we added was, is paid. Like, you want to make sure that you got paid on this deal, especially if you have a lot of volume. You want to make sure you got paid. And then you have a deal card. Go ahead.
Last year, I had 5 transactions that I didn't get paid on. And the only reason we know is because, 1, we found some checks that were in a desk drawer, but 2, the title company reached out to us and was like, this never got cashed. If I was Zippy last year, I would have been able to catch that. And I'm all about not leaving money on a table with the seller. So why am I not the same for myself?
Exactly. And it's funny, you bring up a good point, and we'll get into this right here in a second. So, you can put in your commission, you put in any kind of expenses, you can add team members to a transaction and give them a split, whatever that looks like. It's super simple to do. And basically you hit refresh and it's going to break everything down. You paid a referral fee, you paid a team member, and then our system literally knows when you've already capped, if you're on a capping system. So it shows you that you're not paying anything into the company at this point.
Love it.
Right. And then taxes and business expenses and your true net. And then this amount is the amount that your commission check should be, down to the penny. Now, it's funny that you bring up, you had missing commission checks, you didn't cash them. If I bought something from you off Craigslist, and say it was only $200, or say it was $195, and I brought you $195 cash, you're going to count $195 cash. It's amazing to me that agents are being handed $4,700 and they're not counting it.
Jesse, it was $22,675. That's what those 5 checks added up to.
That's crazy.
I know. I felt like an idiot. I'm like, wait a second, how did I miss it? But when you move at such a fast level and you're in your volume based and you're like, go, more, you don't pay attention to the details. So what I need is a program or a person who's going to pay attention to the details, because it's not my strength. My strength is negotiating contracts, coaching clients, going out there and building rapport and making deals happen. It's not tracking my funds and my finances. And so this can do it. And I apologize if I'm jumping ahead, but isn't there a feature where I can add in like my lender or a referral partner to show them what's going on in the transaction?
Totally. And so what we're going to be adding, and that's a future release. So I'm glad you brought that up, because just like you can add a team member by putting in their username or whatever their email is in under your account, we're going to do the same thing with the referral partner. So this way you can put in their email address and say, I'm going to refer you this transaction. I would like you to track this transaction in Zippy, because I want to be able to know what's going on with the person that I referred you. Right now, it's maybe an email or a text message, and you have no clue what's going on with that person until you close escrow or find out that they already bought and sold with somebody else, right? Which sucks. So we're going to be adding that feature. And then you can also source out all of your business right here and add as many sources as you want. So
one thing
great.
That's neat from an agent perspective is, like, you guys know that I run a team. So as a team lead, he has features in here where I can have an overview and I can look at all the things that my agents have pending, taking in the split with my team, the split they have with the brokerage, and I can see what they have. They can't see what I have. And in fact, I can give them permissions to see certain things and not see certain things. So it's really, really cool, because we always talk about on our team being an open book. So they know, $32,000 a month for expenses for the team. So if they come to me with like a new lead gen platform they want to try, I'm like, awesome. How many deals have we closed from this one? And have that conversation. But we lead with revenue on our team. And so what having a program like this will do is it will enable you to really see where you're at financially, have a snapshot, know what's upcoming in your pipeline, not just for yourself, but for your entire team. Instead of like, oh, I'm working with a few buyers and we'll see how it goes. Like, no, how many buyers? What's your money going to be? Yeah. What's our money? Knowledge is power, right?
Oh, 100%. And it's great about that is that your team is so open book. It's amazing. And it's a great way to, one, keep each other motivated, hold each other accountable, but also see if someone on our team is maybe struggling, and they don't have anything in the pipeline. There's a coaching opportunity there to say, hey, wrap your arms around them. What can I do to help you? How can I support you?
Or like shake them.
Or shake them, shake them, slap them, kick them out, whatever it may be. Either way, it's a conversation that needs to be had. Right. But then like you said, is like, you can go in and you can start adding your client information. We've added audit history. This is all technical stuff that's we don't need to get into. But the reporting is what I want to show you. So when you go into reports, you can go in and create as many different reports as you want, and you can go in and create them. And it's based upon, you could title it, do you want active, pending, closed, leads, buyer, seller? Do you want just yours, company, shared, or group between this date? Super simple to set up a report. And then at that point, I can go in and say, great, I want to look at my company production year to date, source of business. It's going to show me how many clients have actually closed escrow based upon this filter, and how much revenue we brought in based upon this filter. Cool. Right? Then you have just different commission reports, just forecasting. And this is also going to forecast, right? When I started in real estate, gosh, even up to the last few years, my wife is like, what do you got in the pipeline? What are we doing? Like, how much you got in the bank? Like, what do you got coming in? And a lot of people are like, I don't know, I'm working with this person. And now it's like, when I started this years ago, here's what my pipeline looks like.
Well, right. And, my legendary clients, they know that I use Boomtown as a CRM. And so we have our ABCs, right? And we track what's happening in the 0, 30, 60, 90 days. However, it's not telling us how much money we're going to make. It's just talking to us about physically who's in the pipeline. And so with Zippy, you not only can track actual transactions you have, but you can track upcoming leads, even if they're not in contract yet. But you can forecast, okay, well, they said they want to buy between 350, 450. So approximately commission would be, right? And you can say, there's a lot of freedom you have with this to really map out your future with your business. And I find that very valuable.
No, absolutely correct. And, you have your production numbers, and a lot of people go, well, why are these important? Because you want to see how many units you've closed, what your total sales volume is, what your buyer seller mix is, right? Like the Red Book says, you should have a very balanced book of business. And then what your averages are. What's your average commission? If the average commission in your area is 3% and you're down here at 2.5 or 2.4, your average sale price is maybe 100,000. If that's really low for your market, that, hey, if I just shifted my focus and was very intentional about going after a higher price point, learn better scripts and practice my scripts and stop negotiating down my commission, I'd make more money right away without having to do any more transactions.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this and you feel like that is you and you are on the lower end of the spectrum for your commission, talk to me, put a post in our group, because I will help you come up with a script, and we can find a script partner for you to practice that so that you can overcome that objection and you can get that higher percentage of commission. Or if you want to break into the luxury market, there are tools that I have that can help you. And then, with Zippy, this is really good knowledge and information.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's great is too, you want to focus on that. You're pretty good at door knocking, aren't you, Rachel?
I've knocked a few doors.
Yeah, you knocked a few doors. You're all right. That's a great way to focus on that too.
Like Jersey. I always get a weird accent when I try and bring in a good joke. I don't get it.
It's just natural. Just go Jersey right away. And then the last report I'll show you really quick is just a CSV file that it really breaks it down. And this is where a lot of agents are finding errors in commission checks, because this really breaks it down and line items it for you down to every penny to show you when you capped, how much is going to a team member, how much went to referral, and what your total commission check should be. And this is where agents are finding potential errors and going back to go, oh, well, this doesn't match what was on my commission demand. Let me go back and make sure that this is accurate or corrected.
Yeah.
Right. Then the last thing is just your dashboard. The dashboard is a culmination of everything in your system, easy to set up. And it's just a very pretty way that a lot of teams are putting up on their TV screens in their office. So this way they can see, where's our pending sources? Where are our closed sources? What's our averages? How many pending deals do we have? Active deals? Where are we at from a capping standpoint?
The lead source that it came from, or what does source mean?
Source is the lead source. So you can actually say, like right here for this example, you can see 40% of our business from close came from Facebook, but 33% of what's actually pending came from past clients.
Yeah. Well, so for me, last year, our team, we sold 147 houses, and 64 of those came from Facebook for me. So I know that's a massive leg of my business. And I only know that because we tracked our closings on an Excel spreadsheet, but being able to put them in here this year, I think this will be better. And I like pretty, and this is pretty.
This is pretty. We made it pretty for you, Rachel. And then the other thing too that's great is we love goals. We love being able to strive for something. We need the carrot, we need the stick. And with income and production, you can go in and set income goals. What do you want to make net for this year, for the month, for the quarter? You know, GCI. What do you want to make from a production standpoint? How many units do you want to make? How much volume do you want to do for the quarter year? And it pulls the information and literally shows you in real time where you're at in regard to your goal for the filter you set.
Let me ask you this, JC. So my MAPS coach, David, when he and I do a coaching call, he always asks me questions that this would be able to give him the information. Is there do you have logins that someone else can look at to see the information, or could I give him a permission to view certain things?
Absolutely. What you can do is you can just go right into your user settings, create a new user, put in his email, first name, last name, and just say, you can view all the deals in my pipeline, but you can't create any, you can't edit any, you can't delete anything. And he can just view the reports and the deals by selecting just those two things.
I also can just link his checking account to mine through this, right?
Yeah, right. So yeah, you could easily just add him to your transaction, and he can just see and have his own login to be able to view anything into your account, but can't change anything.
So Jesse, if somebody is an individual agent or they're on a team and they want to learn more, where is the best place for them to reach out to find out more?
Perfect. So you're special. So we created you a special link.
Nice.
Okay. So you can go to zippycloud.com/Rachel Adams Lee. And that way, it's specific to your coaching group. You're limited to legendary. And this way we can go in and make sure that they're taken care of. They're getting platinum service, and they'll get a killer rate and a killer deal because you're just awesome.
I like it. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Jesse. I think this is a super neat tool, and I think it's going to really make an impact on the real estate industry as a whole. So you guys, this is a really good program. And if you have questions, go to that website, chat with Jesse. He's an open book too. And he's been through it with us. He's, been in the field. He knows scripts just as well as we do. He's taken bold, he knows the language. So don't be afraid to reach out to him, connect with him also on social media. He responds to his own Facebook messages, which is impressive.
Yes, I do.
Jesse, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I really appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.